I am K. Prakash, Associate Professor, working in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, SNS College of Technology. Today we are going to discuss a topic in the subject solar energy utilization. So in this unit, non-concentrating collectors, we will see the topic what we are going to discuss today. So we are seeing a picture. So when we see this picture, what comes into our mind? So what we feel is we see a sun and it is bright. So what we infer from this is so the sun is the source of energy. Now coming to the second picture, you can see here. So can we think what is happening in the second picture by viewing the second picture? Any guesses? Okay. Here water is collected. So the process here is collecting of water takes place. So this is from the picture 2. So from the both the pictures we come to know that sun is a source of energy, and then in the second picture we are seeing collectors. So our topic is solar collector. Today we are going to discuss about solar collector. So before going to the topic, let us have some discussion about solar collectors. What is meant by solar collectors? So it is from the word we can understand if a device or a material, if it collects the solar energy, then it is called as solar collector. So what is the principle behind this? So abundant of heat energy is available in the sun. So the heat energy available from the sun is used to various application in our day-to-day life. So we need a device to interconnect these process. So that is a solar collector. So mainly solar energy is converted into thermal energy, and also solar collectors act as an heat exchangers. You have idea about heat exchangers? So for a small example, if you take a small cube of ice and you keep in our hand, what happens is the heat from the hand flows into the ice so that it begins to melt. So this is how the heat transfer takes place. So here the solar collectors transforms this solar radiation into heat. So to transfer this heat, the example what we have discussed, we have used the heat is transferring from one medium to another medium directly, whereas in solar collectors we are using water, air and solar fluid as mediums. So the temperature obtained is from around 90 degree to 350 degrees Celsius, varying to the setups. So according to the devices available, this temperature is varying. Now let us see how the solar collectors are classified. What are all the major classifications? So now we are clear that solar collector is a device which is used to collect the solar energy. So these solar collectors are classified into non-concentrating collectors and concentrating collectors. So what is non-concentrating and what is concentrating? Can we tell from the meaning what is non-concentrating and what is concentrating? Any ideas? So I will explain what is non-concentrating and what is concentrating. So if you go and watch a film, if you go for a movie, what happens is everybody are focusing on the screen. So what the movie is going on. So this is a best example for concentrating. Whereas non-concentrating is this focus is not to a particular point. So this is varying. So this is non-concentrating. So this non-concentrating is again classified into flat plate collectors and evacuator tube collectors. So it is ETC. Whereas the concentrating collectors are classified into the parabolic dish, CPC, parabolic trough, and the solar tower. There are 4 types in the concentrating collectors. So in the evacuator tube, we have direct flow evacuator tube collectors and heat pipes are used. So coming to the parabolic trough, we are having 3 different types. One is the synthetic aromatic fluid is used in the parabolic trough, and we are using molten salt, and we are also using direct steam. So this is how the solar collectors are classified. So mainly solar classifiers are non-concentrating and concentrating. Again these are subdivided and there are many branches in the thing. So what is the difference between all these is the amount of solar energy tapped and the output is varying. The incident solar energy is tapped by various methods and the efficiency of the each devices are varying. Now let us discuss one by one. Let us go for a flat plate collector. So in a flat plate collector, what we are doing is the flat plate collector is kept on a open space. We can see from this diagram all the water heaters which we are using in our domestic purpose is a best example for flat plate collectors. You can see here in this diagram there is a flat plate collector which we will discuss briefly in the next topics, but now we will have a small discussion about this flat plate collector. Here there is a flat plate collector is comprising of a structure with copper pipes, and then a top cover glass material is covered. So what happens, it is kept in a open space. So the glass material is the area, is called as the observer area. So when it is kept in an open space, the amount of heat energy falling on it is observed. So we are not disturbing the setup, it is a fixed one. So where it is used is, it is used in for hot water purpose or for industrial process. So the delivery temperature is from 600 and 250 degrees Celsius, but maximum we are getting only up to 150 degree Celsius. Here in the previous sessions we have discussed about the diffusion beam radiation, that is the rays which are from the sun directly falling on the flat plate collector is observed, and the rays which are scattered from the sun due to the dust particles or the clouds are also observed. So this is the use of flat plate collectors, and here the major drawback is it is fixed in a single position, it cannot be moved. So coming to the evacuated plate collectors, here in the evacuated plate collectors there is no glass material is covered on the top of the surface. So it is directly can be installed on the rooftops of our homes. So here the collector area and the observer area is same. It is same as the flat plate collectors. The temperature may be little bit varying, and all the diffusion beam radiations is collected, and this is also is fixed in a position. So here in this evacuated flat plate collectors, here the observed heat is taken inside through an evacuated pipe. The vacuum inside makes the transfer of heat. So this is the major 2 classifications of flat plate collectors and evacuated plate collectors, which is coming under the non-concentrating collectors. We are not focusing here. Only the solar radiation falling on it is allowed to observe. So next we are coming for concentrating collectors. So what is concentrating and what is non-concentrating collectors? So in concentrating collectors, what we are doing is we are focusing the solar radiation to a particular point, that is concentrating collectors. So for this, to reflect the concentrating collectors, to reflect the solar radiation, we are using a reflective surface. So this is the major difference. So this concentrated sunlight is made to focus on a smaller area. So when it is made like this, what happens is it increases the power flux of the sunlight from hundreds of times. So here in this we are using a tracking systems. So as sun is in a stationary position and earth is rotating, so the solar radiation falling from the morning to evening is not constant. So we have to track the whole device where the concentration is higher. So thus we are using some tracking systems and we are using some devices to diffract the direct sunlight. Here in this collector we are collecting both the diffuse and the solar radiations. So coming to the next type is the parabolic trough system. So from the shape we can come to know that it is a trough like shape where you can see here in this there is a receiver. So the receiver is in the central part, which is blackened surface, and a tracking mechanism available and a reflective surface. Here what happens is in this receiver it absorbs the heat energy. So the concentrating reflective surfaces, when the solar radiation is falling on this reflecting surface, what happens is it is reflected towards a particular point. So when all the solar radiation is deflected to a particular point, then the temperature is increased so that the heating takes place quickly. So here this receiver tube is positioned in the focal line of the trough, and as the tracking mechanism, this trough can be tilted in an axis, it can be moved. So this is parabolic trough systems. And if you go for dish collector, so this is a common example, dish. For better understanding, if we go to our places in our terrace, nowadays we are using Sun Direct to view the videos. Sun TV, we are using Sun Direct. The same setup is the principle behind this. Here a dish collector is there and then receiver is there. So here what happens is it has mirrors like reflectors. So when the sunlight is falling on this particular mirrors, it is in a parabolic dish shape, so that all the sunlight falling on this particular parabolic dish is reflected back to a particular single focal point. So whatever the solar radiation falling is made to focus on a particular point. So here what happens is, so the temperature is increased. So in concentrating collectors, the temperature may be varying more than 200 degree or 300 degree Celsius. Whereas in the non-concentrating collector, we are getting only from 100 to 150 degree Celsius. So these parabolic dish collectors are used for cooking purpose, to generate steam, and for other purposes also. So next is the parabolic dish collector, what we have discussed there. Here the concentrating reflecting surfaces, we can use a dish or a mirror, we can project the sunlight or all the things to a particular point. So all these incoming plane wave traveling along the axis into a spherical wave converging towards the focus. This is the principle behind this parabolic dish collectors. And coming to the solar tower, we can see from this picture, we can see there is a tall tower. In the top of the surface there is an receiver, and at the bottom we are having heliostats. So what is meant by heliostats? So heliostats is nothing but it reflects the sunlight or solar radiation to a particular receiver. This is the working of the heliostats. So heliostat is called as a reflector, is made of glass materials. So these heliostats can be located in a circle as big as a football ground. We can use large number of heliostats so that the solar radiation falling on these heliostats is reflected back to the receiver. So here we are using dual axis sun trackers. So what happens is during the noon time the sun will be right above our head, but during the morning time we can see it in the east, and during the evening time we can see in the west. So the direction of the sun's path, the solar radiation is to be observed, so that what we are doing is we are using tracking systems to track the solar radiations and observes the maximum solar radiation. So this is the working of a solar tower. So this is the best example for an concentrating collectors. See here, this solar tower, the main working principle is the solar radiation from the sun is observed by the heliostats. We can see here. So this heliostats reflects the solar radiation falling on it towards the receiver. So the receiver is a very big tower. It is with a tall tower, so that all the heliostat is focusing on that receiver. So in the steel drum we can see this red line where the steam is there, and in a steam condenser there is fluid, that is blue color line. We can see this blue color line. So here this fluid from the condenser comes into the receiver part. So because of this solar radiation reflected from the heliostats, this fluid is converted into steam in the receiver. So the converted steam is passing through the steam drum and it is going to the turbine. So when the steam goes to the turbine, what happens is the turbine is rotated. So the heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. This turbine is connected with the generator. So this generator is coupled. So now the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. This electricity is used for our domestic purpose. So here when the steam is expanded, the condensation takes place, and then the steam loses its heat in the expansion process, and again it is converted into water. So this water or steam is again going to the condenser. Again this process is repeated, and this process continuously doing, so that we are generating electricity. You can ask, sir, there are many methods to generate electricity. What is speciality in this solar tower? So here the major two things which is focused are the energy available is it free of cost. This is the highlighting of solar energy. And second one is there is no pollution because of this solar power plants. So this is the main advantages. But here the initial cost is high because of the tracking systems and the observers and the plant, but the returns are very high. Now let's have a small discussion on the comparison of the solar collectors. In flat plate collectors, observer area is large. Here observer area is smaller. Concentration ratio is 1. That is, what is concentration ratio is the observer area and the receiving area are both the same, but where here the concentration is higher. In flat plate, all the beam and diffuse radiation is allowed. In concentrating, only the beam radiation is allowed. So here in the flat plate collector, it is used for low temperature, whereas These concentrating types are used in the high temperature applications. Flat plate, there is no maintenance, it is simple in maintenance, and whereas in concentrating, it is difficulties in maintenance. So these are the major comparison of the solar collectors, and we will have some small assessment. Here, the function of the solar collector is of converting solar energy into the four options are available. What will be the answer? Any guesses? So, if your guess is radiation, then the answer is wrong. So, what may be the correct answer? So, the correct answer is thermal energy. So, coming to the second question. Temperature attained by cylindric parabolic collector is of the order. So, here why I want to discuss this is, students, when you are seeing a question, you have to understand the question what they have properly asked. So that is why I have a small discussion here. So for the second question, it is asked cylindrical parabolic reflector. Then first you have to make sure that this parabolic collector is whether concentrating or non-concentrating. So it is clear that cylindrical parabolic collector is a concentrating collector. So here then the temperature is, we have discussed, it is higher. So the answer will be around 200 to 300 degree Celsius. So if you have any doubts in this, you can rewind back the session and you can go through, all the answers are available there. And I have taken my references from the Energy World and Wiley.com and NPTEL courses. If you have any doubts, you can have these references. So before going for the conclusion, we will have a small wind up what we have discussed today. So today we have discussed about the solar collectors. So solar collector is nothing but a device which is used to collect the solar energy and can be used for different usable in our day-to-day life. So they are mainly classified into concentrating collectors and non-concentrating collectors. So non-concentrating is flat plate collectors and evacuated tube collectors, which we are using in our domestic purpose to heat the water for our houses. And if we go for concentrating collectors, why we are going for concentrating collector is, the temperature obtained in the non-concentrating collector is limited to 150 degrees Celsius, nearly around 150 degree Celsius. So if we go for any industrial process, the temperature is to be raised to 300 degrees Celsius or 350 according to the need. So when this situation comes, we have to switch over to the concentrating collectors. So we have discussed about the parabolic trough collectors and the parabolic dish collectors, and we have discussed about the solar towers. These are all coming under the concentrating collectors, and we had the comparison between these two. And with this we conclude the session. Thank you.